Just your average everyday trucker, keeping it real. I'm your host, Chris Blodgett, and you're listening to Real Talk Tuesday. Today's topic is going to be whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're right. What matters, though, is taking consistent daily action. This is episode 89. So, once again, guys, welcome. Appreciate you being here. So, I know a lot of us, we have certain goals, certain dreams we're trying to meet. We have to continue to push forward every day. We have to take action every day. A lot of people will set a goal, and then they'll work on that goal a little bit today, and then work on that goal a little bit in like a couple weeks, and then pick another day, another week or so later, and then 6 months later be a little bit upset because of not being really that close to achieving that goal. But in order to achieve those goals, the easiest way is to be doing at least a little bit every single day. When you have something that you're working on, something that's important, you gotta be constantly working on it, even if it's just a little bit here and there. In the business that I'm currently working on, like I've said in lives and stuff, I haven't necessarily made a ton of money in it, but I have, with me implementing the things that I've learned in the Legacy Builder program, I have actually noticed a lot of changes, a lot of positive changes. I've noticed my couple of different accounts, social media accounts, have grown quite a bit. My TikTok, I've gone from like 100 followers, like 550 so far in the first month. My Facebook business page has grown from like 3,000 or so followers. I think I'm nearing like 8,000 now. And all I'm doing, there's a lot of different things online where you see like, hey, like join this follow for a follow. You follow me, I'll follow you, and everybody that likes your comment, you follow them. I did that a little bit, but I haven't really focused on that too much. I've just been doing the steps outlined in what I'm currently doing. The following the training videos, doing the daily action steps, and I've noticed that I've had the different, I've had like, when I started, I actually was like, one of the things they teach you to do is they give you a list of 200 high traffic classified ad sites. and they have, you basically copy and paste the same ad to a bunch of those sites. That's one of the ways that that basically you can grow. And it's not just with this business, but you could actually do that with other things you want to advertise as well. Easy way to drive traffic to your site. That's one of the things that you learn in this program that I'm in, is how to basically get organic traffic to where you're trying to basically get, to get eyeballs on what you're offering without you having to pay money to drive people there. And so, but again, it's consistent daily action. It's not doing it today and then, come back in 2 or 3 days and do some more. I know people that do that. I mean, I have known people that have done that. My, people I guess you'd call my friend circle now. For the most part, they take pretty much action daily. They do a little bit here, a little bit there, And so, it's just one of those things. If you want to see the results, you have to continue to work on it, whatever it is. It could be working on a business. It could be, like, one good example I want to throw out there is health. One of the reasons why I look forward to getting back to the why, having the time freedom through working this business, is that I'll be able to get back to the why, and I will be able to basically do the routine like I did before. Because when I was going to the Y before, back when I had like a more set schedule, was always starting around 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, was always getting home around 11 or 12 at night. It never changed. It was always the same schedule. I joined the Y, and for at least 2.5 months, I literally I would get up earlier than I normally did, and I would go to the Y every single day. And that, I wasn't noticing. I mean, I noticed I felt better, but when I looked at myself in the mirror, I didn't notice anything myself, but other people pointed it out to me. Like, I was going to the Y and doing the, like, lifting the weights, one day, and then they had an indoor track. So, like, I would do weights one day, and the next day I would go do 2 miles on the track. I'm not a runner. Not really a big fan of running. So I'd go up there and I'd walk the 2 miles. Basically, it ended up being like almost 30 laps because, it's a small track. But I did it every day. I didn't want to, I told myself if I stop going, I'm going to have trouble getting back there. And so I literally forced myself to get up and head into the Y and go do the daily stuff. And I remember it was after the first 3 or 4 weeks. I think I did either a selfie or something with my bro Rico, and I was, or a short, like one of those little videos on like Messenger that you can see, like 1 minute video or whatever. Send a video basically just like, hey bro, how's it going? How you doing? Just got back from the Y, just get ready for work, blah blah blah. And he messaged back. He was, hey bro, like, I think, have you lost weight? Because like you look thinner. I'm like, what? The hell are you talking about? He said, no bro, you look thinner. I'm like, really? Okay. So what I did is I had some photos back from like a year prior when I was around this time, because my weight at one point I was around like 330, and so I had photos with like front shots, side shots, me looking into a mirror straight on, and me looking into a mirror from the side, from taking the little selfies from my phone or whatever, when I was at 330, and then that was like a year or two prior, and then my oldest had left with her grandson, and my wife and I, of course, we took it hard, and so for like 6 months I was rapidly gaining weight. So I got up to like 370, 375, and I told myself I need to do a change, otherwise I'm basically telling myself if I didn't make a change, I was probably going to die at a young age. So I started trying to eat a little healthier, not drink every day, just drink on my days off, and try to cut back the candy or whatever, or the sweets. And so the weight started going back down. And so by the time I had that picture, or the my bro telling me, like, hey bro, like you you look thinner. You know, I see you're thinner in your face. I'm like, really? Okay. So I did another front and side shot, and you know, and I did look a little bit of a collage with the old photos versus the new photos, and I, you know, both of them without the shirt on, both of them front and side. Sent it over to my bro Rico. Basically, like, do you see a difference? He goes, absolutely, man. Your upper half, like you're more toned, like you're tightening up top. I'm like, really? Okay, cool. Because I'm looking at it going, I don't see it. So it's like, but that's just the thing, like, even with things like that, like, you got it's a daily thing. Like, if you want to get healthy, you can't just work out one day. That's why I don't do the Y right now, because the main days I'd have available to work out would be my 2 days off each week. And I'm like, yeah, I want to work out more than just 2 days a week. I want to get back into it daily like I did before, but I don't have the time freedom right now to do it. And so it's like, I'm not going to pay for a membership to go 1 or 2 days a week. It doesn't make sense, you know. But eventually I do plan to get back into that routine where I'm doing the, you know, having 30 minutes to an hour at least, if not, you know, 30 minutes to an hour and a half of time to commit to at least do, you know, what I got to do every day. So that way, over the course of like a year or two of doing that, I'll be able to look at myself and be like, yeah, I've really, like, I look good, you know, like, toned up quite a bit. My weight's gone down a little bit. I'm healthier, sleeping better, feeling better, you know. That's what I look forward to. But that would require me to be able to take like daily action with it, and not just, you know, not just do it once in a while. So it's the same with like other goals too. Like if you're working on trying to build, throw another random example out there, like let's say you try to work on your writing skills, you know, let's say you want to get into the habit of being able to write every day. Let's say you struggle with it. Let's say you sorry, I'm literally recording this at home, and so I'm hearing, like, you know, talking outside the room. So do a little bit differently today, because try to get things done before I head off to work, because when whenever I run the run I'm supposed to run, which is the one I'm doing today, but usually that one is supposed to take off by 2, but I guess it's a different team I'm meeting, so leaving like between 3:30 and 4, and I'm having a new driver ride with me, I guess, today. So, you know, when you're training somebody, you gotta, you know, do everything 100% by the book, you know, and be a good example for them. So I'm like, well, let me take care of do what I can to take care of stuff before I leave, so that way I can just hit the road with the trainee or whatever and not have to worry about it, you know. But that way I can get this episode uploaded on time today and not have to worry about being late on it and stuff, you know. Like I said, I've basically set a routine, set a thing, you know. I've got the podcast episodes, you know, for me, I've set what days those are going to go, you know, get uploaded. And because the way I look at it is, if I skip days, or if like I skip a week of doing my episodes, then I'm gonna, whatever, I know I do have some active listeners that, you know, whenever I did the last episode, I noticed I had like 6 or 7 downloads almost within hours, and I was like, holy crap. And normally when I do an episode, I go ahead and do a quick short video to upload the TikTok and, you know, basically upload all my platforms like I'm doing with the current business. And that way, kind of continue to put it out there, you know, because the plan is not only to be able to be home full time because of the online business, but to be a full-time podcast host, basically just be home working on stuff from home and not have to be hey, I got to go work my job. But I know that in order for me to do that, I'm going to basically have to be consistent with it. That's why I'm always saying consistency is key in anything. Like, consistently going to the gym every day, consistently doing your daily action steps, working on, you know, if you're trying to work from home, trying to build a business, you got to take action every day and work on it. And you might not see the results for a while. Like it may not. It took a little bit for me to realize like just how just how much I've literally grown and changed just in this past like 30 days. Yeah, I made 1,000 my first week. I haven't done any other sales since, just yet. But part of what they teach is how to grow an email list. So, like literally, and it's all automated. So of course, like I've just been doing the daily action steps, and I'm getting leads onto my contact list pretty much every day. And I was initially doing the high traffic classified ad sites to because I thought, well, I have to do everything that I can do to try to drive traffic to my page, so that way I can, continue to grow my business. But then at some point, I started just, instead of doing classified ads, I was doing a couple of pieces of content, and I would go live for about 15 minutes, and then be sharing that to all my different platforms. And every day, I've still been getting leads through my system, and not having to necessarily post ads everywhere. I'll just do my 3 pieces of content and, go live for 15 minutes and make sure to upload them. And basically, I've been seeing growth on all my platforms. Like, I think when I look at my business page, it shows that I've reached like 500,000 viewers on all the videos I posted. I'm like, crap. That's a really big number for somebody like me who's I've never really referred to myself as like a popular person. I had friends, but wasn't like I'm connected with people from high school, and I'm sure a lot of you can probably relate. I'm connected with a lot of people from high school that were part of big cliques, and so like literally they see them do a post and they got like 300 likes, 400 likes, and and most of it is people because they have huge friend groups. I was never one of those. Like I have a handful of friends from high school that I actually call like real friends. Otherwise, the rest are just kind of like people I do. And so, somebody like me, starting with like not really being, having a huge friend base, not having a huge really not having much for followers on my different platforms. I've just been doing what I gotta do daily, taking the daily action steps to be able to actually do it, And so, then if you stop, you stop posting, then or stop doing the daily action steps, then you're gonna fall back or whatever. So with I keep hearing talking in the background. I'm like, nope, all right, I don't know what's going on there, but so really, it's one of those things. If we wanna actually see movement, we got to keep at it and stuff. So same thing with this podcast. I've set up a plan to have episodes post Tuesdays and Fridays, and Real Talk Tuesdays and Storytime Fridays. So on Tuesday, I make sure to have a Real Talk Tuesday episode scheduled between 5 and 6. Sometimes I might run later, depending on when I get it recorded. Same thing with Friday. Try to get a story recorded and edited and uploaded for Friday, so that way I can continue being consistent with when my episodes are posting each week. And 6 months ago, I was usually averaging like 1 or 2. I might get like 1 or 2 downloads, maybe 3. I think the most I ever got was like 5. Once I would upload an episode, I would get like maybe 5 in one day, and at the end of the week, it might have like 10 or 15. But last week, I think I had one day that I had 65 downloads. I'm like, holy crap. But otherwise, my story posted on Friday and immediately had 7 downloads within like 3 hours. But by the time I got back to Nashville, because I posted it when I was basically stuck at Knoxville waiting to get loaded. And so I posted it, then it was like 3 hours for me to get back to Nashville. And by the time I got back, I had like 6 or 7 downloads. So I was like, holy crap. So, and that was without me posting online or anything. I just did the episode and then uploaded it, whatever. So that tells me that I have at least a handful of people that have liked and followed my podcast. So that way, when I upload a episode, they get that alert. Hey, new episode posted from Blodgett Show. 6 months ago, I didn't have that. So now that me implementing everything I'm learning, and trying to be consistent with it, I'm noticing growth, and so I know that if I just keep doing it, that number is only going to get more or get bigger, because people that are currently following, they'll tell their friends about, hey, you should check like this trucker guy that has his podcast, does stories and blah blah blah, and so then that number of followers will grow, and sorry, just got a message that came through, looks like. But yeah, it's a text I got. I'm like, well, I would get too distracted trying to literally respond to him while talking. I'd respond and be like, what was I talking about? So we got to just basically, I know that as I continue to do that the number of people who are following my podcast now, the number will get bigger, and eventually the how I have the support site for like anybody who wants to donate. I know that'll get bigger, that'll grow, and eventually, like I said, the goal is to eventually be home full time working on the online business, and at home full time being a full time podcast host. Because I know it can be done. That's part of why when I started this podcast, I had known quite a few people that basically that's what they do full time, and I was like, well, that'd be really cool. When I started, I was like, I had no clue what the heck I was doing, didn't know what I would make this podcast about, and then so it just kind of grew over the course of like 6 months. It grew into what it is now with Real Talk Tuesdays and Storytime Fridays. So that's just for me trying to be consistent with it, even though there have been weeks where I was sick or something, and so I didn't get an episode posted. But I'm going to try to not even let that happen now, because I'm noticing the growth, and I don't want to go backwards. So part of one of my sayings I use all the time is always forward, never backwards. Like whether it's with a job, don't leave a current job and take a different job paying less or giving you worse hours. If it's same pay but it's a better job, like less physically demanding, then that's still a move forward. If it's same hours but you're getting paid more, that's a move forward. If you're getting paid more for the same amount of work you're currently doing, that's a move forward. You want to always take steps moving forward, and so like that way, let's say you switch jobs 3 times in the next couple of years, but each time you switch jobs, you're getting paid, your salary went up. At the end of 3 years, you're looking back like, man, when I'm now doing this job and I'm making this much money compared to 3 years ago, I was doing such and such job and I was making like $10,000 less a year or something. Some random number thrown out there, but that's for moving forward, and making moves for the better instead of moves, like really I wouldn't even recommend making a job change or making a move where it doesn't really affect you positively, where you make a move and like same job, same title, same pay. I wouldn't even recommend that, but that, like, unless you're moving, for instance, if you moving to a new state, you find a similar job to what you're currently doing, similar pay, but you've moved to a new town or whatever. I guess that works, But most of the time, I would highly recommend trying to only make those moves to make it better, So anyway, when I started to come on here for this episode, I looked at the time, I was like, I better head upstairs, put my headset on, do a quick episode recording before taking off, so that way I can get this scheduled, get this edited, uploaded, and all that fun stuff. And that way I can be consistent for you guys. So, but anyway, guys, I think on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and draw this episode to a close. Hope you guys found value in it today. I know it's kind of random because I'm, a little differently than how I normally record. Because usually I'm out and about doing my job when I go ahead and do an episode. But today I thought, well, I'll do it before I leave, so that way since I'm training somebody today, I figured I'd try try to just focus on training them. But you know what I always say, guys? Well, first, before I do the usual closing statements, for anybody who wants to check out what I'm currently learning with this Legacy Builder program, it teaches you how to build a business, start your own course, create your own digital products, and how to basically start earning online, whether you're a beginner, never earned online before, or whether you're experienced. But this will teach you how to a step-by-step blueprint on how you can actually start to build an income online, working only 1 to 2 hours a day, without getting in people's inboxes, without cold messaging people. You know, that's one thing that annoys me on Facebook lately, is the number of people that have gotten my messenger inbox and you know, basically begging me to buy their product, to join their program, whatever. And I'm like, I'm trying to basically then turn it back around to them, like, all right, so you're making a percentage of what you sell, but I'm making 100% of it. Anybody that comes in and joins me in any of these programs, whether it's the $100 one, the 300, the 600, or the 900, I'm making 100%. So like, it's no pyramid or whatever. It's not passing up to anybody. It's literally like, somebody comes in and does a $900 legacy, I'm making $900. But then they're being able to follow the step-by-step video training and learn how to do what I'm doing. So it's one of those, if you want to know how you can do it too, go to blodgeshow.com/freedom, put your email in there, respond to my email with any questions you might have. But otherwise, it's all automated. It's literally, it'll direct you to like 2 short videos, and then it'll direct you to the page where you see all the actual the programs, the digital products that we offer. And pretty much that, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's one of those, like, you're not having to reach out to people trying to sell them. It's a rejection-free business. So, but if anybody wants to support the show, go to blodgeshow.com/support. It'll direct you to a Patreon site where you could do a contribution for as little as $1 per month, or you could do a contribution one time, or you could become a monthly contributor for as little as $1 per month. As always, thank you in advance, and definitely very much appreciate it. But on that note, guys, you know what I always say: keep on pushing forward, keep believing. Believe you can, believe you will, and you're already halfway there. And then you just have to go out there and do it. And like I said, guys, with the topic with this episode, taking consistent daily action, working towards those goals, whatever they might be, health, financial, whatever, just continuing to work on it every day, and not letting the feelings of discouragement drag you down and stop you from continuing to push on. As long as you keep at it and stuff, then you will get there. You know what I think there's a saying about the guy that invented the light bulb. What was it? Thomas Edison? That he didn't find 1,000 ways it didn't work, or he didn't fail 1,000 times. He found 999 ways it didn't work, and then on 1,000th try he got it. So that's literally what we have to do. We have to keep pushing forward, and any progress is good. You know, like any positive movement, you know, it's a good thing. So on that note, guys, I appreciate you, and I will talk to you guys on Friday when we have the next Storytime Friday story. On that note, you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. I will see you on Friday, and have a good one.